Hey everyone, I just doing some bit of workout on my chin-up bars on my camper because that's the usual thing people have on their campers. Um, anyway, just want to do hopefully a quick video this time. There was a post by someone who said, "Why is it that you think that people are still following the narrative?" And here's my thoughts on it. First of all, they're not even aware that it's a narrative. It's just something that they always do, like going to bed or going to work. They're hungry, they want some food. It's just something that they do. They're not even aware it's a narrative. Now, there are some people who are aware of others saying that's a narrative. So why are they still believing the narrative if they're aware that it's being called a narrative? Well, the people who are speaking up against the narrative, not all of them, there is a share of them who jump on certain articles or memes or certain posts which are claimed as facts, and they start screaming up about them. So for example, all these photoshops, people just saying, yep, that's definitely Photoshop, without actually providing any ounce of fact whatsoever. It's just belief, and it's a biased belief. And for me as well, sure, I would love for some of these photos to be Photoshopped, because it would be like, yes, now we have evidence. But the fact is, we don't have evidence. We only have this desire and want, this belief, a bias, that it is Photoshopped, so that means it's fake, right? And particular ones I'm talking about is when it's so obvious that there is actual counter evidence, or you can replicate this at home. You can replicate this with a friend to go, oh, okay, yeah, it's not Photoshopped. I know someone who spent hours upon hours looking between one photo and the other photo and doing a bit of a spot the difference to say, oh yeah, definitely Photoshopped. What that person missed entirely was the background of where these particular buildings were leaning over. Didn't say that they were Photoshopped, but if I was to play down that line, I would say, yeah, they Photoshopped everything in the picture to make it look like a different picture. The latest one is of Dan Andrews out there wearing glasses. Now, come on, I'm sure some of you are aware that we've had friends who wear glasses and they take glasses off. You're like, oh, you look different. You know why they look different? Because when they're wearing glasses, the actual lenses themselves either magnify or make their eyes look smaller. So when they take them off, yeah, of course they look different. So in that photo, you can clearly see that it's the lenses that he's wearing. But not only that, someone else actually made a comment in the photo and replicated the exact same thing. And you know what still happened? People are calling out that it's still Photoshopped without proving or showing 1 ounce of evidence that it is. So the reason why I'm saying this is because the others that are aware that people are speaking about a narrative aren't believing the narrative, because too many people are throwing around too much crap, too much false information that's appearing that it's factual. So when they hear those people, they're just like, nah, I don't want to listen to it. So they don't fall for that particular narrative. Yeah. So if you want others to actually start listening to you, and actually start looking at the truth, because I know there is actually a level of truth that everyone is sharing, but it's been muddied. It's been muddied by non-factual stuff that can be easily pulled apart. And if it can be easily pulled apart, then the people who are kind of like listening to us a little bit are going, nah, now they're just speaking absolute false crap. And that's when the truth is muddied by that. So just stick to the facts. If you don't know, sure, you can share it, but then have a look at it. And if someone provides you with actual a replication to go, oh yeah, no, that's perfectly normal, then actually address it, saying that, if that's what you think, then all you're doing is sticking with your bias, which is a belief. Belief isn't necessarily fact. Yeah. So if I was to, just observe something, if I was to do a chin-up and you watched me do a chin-up, then it would be a fact that I did what's called a chin-up. But if you were to say, oh, you're a neo-Nazi because you did a chin-up, that's a belief, and to some people it's a bias, because I actually heard somebody the other day speak about someone. So it was fact that I heard someone speak about someone and call them a Nazi, a conspiracy theorist, neo-Nazi extremist. Like, whoa, are they one of those? I don't know. I don't know this person that they're talking about. If I was to go off, previous examples where media and authorities have used that type of labels on people, especially at the CMFEU protest, then no, like, where the hell are the Nazis? We can look at that as fact because we're like, I guess a bit of a thin line there. Maybe there was a Nazi there. I don't know, I didn't speak to everyone, but based on what I did see, it was just people speaking up, that's all. It's just funny how labels can be thrown around. So that's why people are still following the narrative, because they either don't know that it's a narrative, or the ones that are aware that there could be a narrative aren't even listening because it's way too muddied with absolute crap. Stick away from the crap if you actually want to help these people, if you actually want to get listened, feel heard, remove the hatred, remove the frustration, if you want to feel at ease. Just stick to the actual facts. Take the emotion out of it, take your belief out of it, take your desire of how much you want it to be true out of it, and just stick to the actual facts. There was a photo of Dan Andrews. He was wearing glasses. They looked funny behind his eyes, but that's also possible depending on the lenses they have. Let's test it. Let's find a lens. Let's take a photo. If we can replicate the same thing. So that doesn't mean it's photoshopped. Sure, we could say it doesn't mean it's not photoshopped. But then what's the Photoshop? And what's the point of photoshopping? Think about it. If these guys are in such control and power, why would they be making small little mistakes in Photoshops? Like, actually think about it. Like, there's so much control going on. They're not making small mistakes like that. Sure, we can say, symbolism is their downfall and whatnot, but where's their downfall? Where are they falling down? They're not. Think about it. So if you call yourself a critical thinker, be a critical thinker on all aspects, everywhere, every single where, even the stuff that you want to be true, actually start to critical think and break it down and try and prove that it's wrong. And you may find that you will actually discover the truth within that. Yeah? So critical thinking doesn't stop just because you call yourself a critical thinker, or you're on one side of the narrative or argument that has a bigger community as well, because that's the exact same thing that the others are doing. Yeah, they're following another crowd because everyone has taken this thing. Everyone's following the directions, and because everyone's following the directions, more people follow the directions. So you can be on one side or the other. They're the polarities, and it's the same. Yeah, you've got the left wing and the right wing. It's the same. Find yourself in the neutral ground, so that way you can actually start sharing the truth, and you can stop reacting to all this. I'm going to say there is false information on both sides. Prove me wrong. Prove to me that those things were photoshopped. I can tell you that I've worked in that field as well. I've done my own ads. I've worked in TV and film. I know camera angles, but that's not going to matter as soon as you put belief or bias into it. But I can sit there and show you. But sitting there and seeing the evidence come through, and then still going, still Photoshop. You're entitled to believe that. But if you're wondering why people aren't believing the narrative, or aware that it's a narrative, or even listening to you, it's because the truth has been muddied so much, and there's stuff that I don't even talk about. Yeah, I could touch on the pedophilia stuff. We all know it's true. We all know it's real. We all know it exists. But we don't talk about it because that, in a way, even muddies the water. We can just be aware of it and do our best to get there. But speaking about all this other stuff is not going to get us heard. It's only going to segregate you even further. That's just my thoughts. So, I don't think I have too much followers anyway on this, so whoever wants to defriend me because I've spoken the harsh truth there, go for it. I'm just going to continue doing my thing. I am running trainings in linguistics with a trainer by the name of Carly. We've already done a few this year. She's been doing it for years. It's this sort of stuff that helps you let go of all the negative emotions, all the particular thoughts and stories that you're playing in your head. It helps you decipher the information that's out there from both sides. Yeah, it helps you distinguish between a bias, belief, and fact. It helps you communicate better. It helps you be able to be heard by other people. It also helps you enjoy life a little bit more in terms of the challenges that comes across. Yeah, so this video is probably going a little bit too long. Anyway, comment. Let me know what you think. Throw some comments at me if that's what you feel. But I would say now is the time that you actually want to start getting an education for yourself, not this traditional school education. I'm talking about real education that's going to benefit you should you decide to stand your ground. Because I'm not sure if you're aware, things aren't really changing, are they, in terms of going back. They're getting pretty heated, and there's a lot of people that are deciding to go out in communities and do things on their own. It's probably a good idea. You can continue doing what you can at home if you're set up in that way, fantastic. But it's time for a new level of thinking, a new type of thinking. Change your thinking, change the way you feel, change the way you feel, change the way you experience everything. So if you want to get in touch, then do so, get in touch. You can look at my other videos, engage, start connection, stop getting yourself involved in all these, I'm going to call them theories. Yeah, I don't like the other word, the C word on that one. They're theories, and they're great to kind of engage with and start talking to people, but when you start getting bogged down in what you think is a fact, actually look at it and ask yourself, is it fact, or do I just want it to be true? See ya.